Good day, everyone, and thank you for tuning onto today's episode. Today, we're going to be talking about an African lady who is in her mid-50s and she's in serious trouble and might be heading to jail. Now, all the stories we're going to be talking about on this particular channel is very educative and is going to help a lot of people because the children of these days are going to put their parents in trouble. And listen very attentively because this is actually going to give us some moral lessons, even to the parents and to the children at hand. Now, if you have not subscribed to our channel, kindly subscribe, share and like for more information because we are going to be bringing back-to-back informations about things that are happening in the UK. Now, this story we're going to be looking at today is a story of a woman in her mid-50s. Now, she resides in Germany and she has two daughters. Now, the two daughters, she had them when she was still in Africa before she went down to Germany. Now, this story is going to be very, very educative, especially to children and to parents also. So kindly stay tuned and listen carefully to every details about the story from beginning to end because today we're going to be bringing a lot of educative news about this particular lady. Now, this lady is in her mid-50s, as I said earlier, and she had two daughters back then in Africa before she moved to Germany. Now, she's no longer in the marriage with her ex-husband, and then when she decided to move to Germany, she decided to leave one of her daughters behind. Now, the daughter, on the other hand, was not getting along with her father at all, so she decided to stay with her maternal grandmother. So that was where she grew up, even though yes, she was being catered for by her father and not by her mother because her mother left her maybe due to some issues they had with her ex-husband and they didn't want to part with the children. At least let me have one and you have one. So that was what happened before she could only carry one of her child down to Germany. Now, all this happened in the space of 1 to 2 years when they had their crisis and their divorce and they decided to get separated. Now, on getting to Germany, it was so hard for the woman because she had to do so many jobs just to live up to their standard and cater money for herself, and she was also sending money back home. Eventually, she fell in love with somebody else and they got married. After 6 years of marriage, she then decided that now she's settled and she has enough funds on her hand. Let her bring her daughter over to this other side. Now, she contacted her ex-husband and he said as long as she's the one that is going to be footing all the bills and everything, he doesn't have an issue with that. But still, she spent a lot of money because at that time, Germany Home Office, they were always saying, they were always giving one excuse or the other. So it was so difficult for the girl to come over. But eventually, she spent over $200,000 with lawyers and everything trying to bring her daughter back to Germany just to stay with her because probably she's a mother, she has human feelings. She left her daughter behind because she could not just cater for them at that time. Now she feels that okay, she's relaxed and she has enough of funds. She needs to bring her daughter to give her a better life because she that is in Germany actually knows what she's benefiting from there. Moving ahead, the woman actually talked to her current husband about bringing the daughter, and now the husband was not in support of bringing the daughter over because his excuse was that he had a lot of reports back home that she was not going to bring positive vibes and she was not going to bring positive impact to his younger children. Let's not forget that after she got married to this her current husband, they had 2 children. So now he is actually out to protect his own children and saying that a lot of things he hears about her daughter that was back in Nigeria was not good enough. So he doesn't want her to come and corrupt the children. But on the second thought, after so much persuasion, he decided to allow her so that his wife will not feel lonely or she will not feel rejected or she will not feel like he doesn't love her enough. So that was when he allowed her to bring the girl over. Now, as a mother, she was always calling back home to check up on her daughter and know about her well-being. But there were some certain kind of pictures that they painted the girl to be, that she was wayward, she was not good enough, she was just arrogant and everything. But she felt that, okay, maybe if the girl came over to her side, she could put her in school because before she left Nigeria, the girl doesn't know how to read and write. Then, unfortunately, when the girl came over, she was acting like a good girl. She was always going to church with them. she was going to school, the mother had to start thinking that maybe all those things they were saying about her daughter, they were not true. They were just painting a bad picture of her daughter. And the man was now looking at the girl like, okay, this is not the report we got back home. Maybe they just want to tarnish the girl's image. So I think the man had a relaxed mind and didn't think too much about what's coming. Now she started school and she started mingling with people, and the mother was actually seeing some of the people. And then at this particular point, she started noticing that her daughter was associating with some certain people that are not good at all. Those sort of people that they smoke and they do everything. So now she then confronted the daughter and was like, I don't like this set of people you're going out with. I don't like this set of people you're going to school with. And the daughter actually reassured her that, Mom, it's nothing serious. We just go to school together because we live in the same neighborhood. So I just talk to them because I want to have people we interact with in school and people we go to school together and come back together with. So the mother didn't think too much about it. But this particular day, the mother found something shocking. She found a VIP in this girl's school bag. Now, for all of you that don't know what a VIP means, a VIP is actually an electronic cigarette that it looks like actually a pen. They use it to puff smoke. People use it to smoke. It's more like the modern version of cigarettes. Now, as a mother, she was very, very scared and she was furious. She confronted the daughter, and the daughter actually reassured her again that the VIP wasn't for her. She doesn't actually know what it is. It was a friend of hers that gave her in school to give to somebody. But it didn't just end there. Someone that was concerned also sent a video where they saw the daughter using that same VIP to puff smoke. They sent the video to the mother, and the mother was in shock because her daughter keeps reassuring her that she's not doing this type of thing. She's not going to tarnish the family's image. She's not going to do anything that is going to hurt the mother. But on the contrary, she was doing the opposite. Now, the shocking thing was that this got worse when the girl started dating a notorious gangster in their area. And then, the mistake the mother made was when all this were going through, she always tried to be defensive. She wasn't bringing up the topic with her current husband because she knew how she persuaded him for him to allow the girl come. Then you now open your mouth and you now tell him that this is what she's doing, this is not what she's doing. So she had to hide it from the husband. She was thinking she was going to handle it all alone by talking to the girl and the girl reassuring her, but she had so many evidence from people that are sending her pictures and videos of where the girl is dancing in the midst of guys. She's shaking her bums, she's smoking, and she's doing a lot of things. To crown it all, she stayed dating a notorious gangster that was into fraud, into smoking, into smuggling of drugs, and every bad thing you could think of. Now, the husband and wife started having uncontrollable issues back to back because the man started noticing a lot of things about the girl. People were also sending him evidence. And each time he tried to bring up the topic, the wife would always be defensive and all that. So now there was no peace in the marriage. There was no love. There was no unity. And it was also affecting the two younger ones that were upcoming because they always see their elder sister doing some kind of stuff. And they'll be like, Mommy, I saw sister doing this. I saw sister doing that. So a lot of things were happening in the family and all that. Then there's this, she was very, very disrespectful to teachers in school. Sometimes she skipped schools, all types of bad things, shoplifting. Eventually, she was arrested for shoplifting and doing drugs and smuggling drugs. A lot of things happened during the space of the time she just went to Germany just to join her mother. And the marriage was no longer sweet anymore. The man could not have peace in his home because he's always arguing with his wife about her daughter. He didn't want to make it look as if because it's not his child, that's why he doesn't want to put mouth, or that's why he doesn't want to caution her or everything. But the woman was always defensive when it. Now, in this story, this particular girl that is causing so many issues is just a 17-year-old girl because she turned 17 when she got to Germany. Now, the wife eventually opened up to the husband about stuff that is happening and everything. And he was so heartbroken, like you couldn't even open up to tell your husband because you were being defensive and all that. But when it became out of hand, she had to open up to her husband. And then, but another thing about this story was that the woman didn't just paint it as how it is. She actually painted it to be as if the daughter was being influenced, the daughter was being dragged into what she's doing. Meanwhile, they have gotten a lot of bad reports back in Nigeria. So now with everything that's happened and everything that's happened, both wife and husband decided that okay, we can't cope with this anymore because this girl is going to put us in a lot of trouble. We don't have time for that. This is not our own country that will caution the child by beating or anything. So decided both both of them that they were going to send the girl back to Africa. Now, after they have purchased the flight ticket for this particular girl, the particular 17-year-old girl, to be sent back to Africa, the mother had a change of heart and then told her husband that she was not in support of her daughter going back because she knew how she fought tooth and nail just for the girl to come over. Then the conflict continued happening. The girl continued misbehaving and the husband was like, sorry, I can't do this anymore. I can't be in this relationship or this marriage anymore. I want out and I want a divorce. So he moved out of the house and started staying alone, though he's left his 2 children with the wife because Everly, even if they go for custodyship at the court, she's going to take custody of the children. So he said he was going to do everything he was going to do for his children, but he doesn't want to be in the relationship anymore. Immediately the man left the house. It was not as if the girl, the 17-year-old girl, became more notorious and more spoiled by the day. Now on this particular day, the mother, let's not forget that the mother was a mental care nurse that takes care of mental people. Now, she went out that particular day and she didn't tell the daughter that she was coming back to the house urgently to come and pick up something, only for her to open the door and the sight of what she saw is something that we can't even see. She saw her 17-year-old daughter in bed with the 17-year-old notorious gangster that has been terrorizing the area. Now, out of anger, out of anxiousness, she went to where the boy was, dragged him and pulled him and tossed him out. Now, without knowing that the radiator was on, so he had to hit his head on the radiator and he started bleeding. Now, the daughter was shouting that they should call the police, they should call for help and everything. The woman did not hesitate. She called the police and told them what has happened, and then the police came. Unfortunately, as the police came, the girl and the boyfriend gave a statement against the mother, that it was the mother that just decided to injure the boy because she doesn't like the boy and everything. The whole statement they gave was just the opposite of what happened. Now they had to arrest the mother. She being a health care giver, they had to call the Association of Health Care Giving and they cancelled her partnership with them. She was no longer in job. She didn't even have a job again. Meanwhile, she was still in prison. Now, the girl went further to give a statement that she doesn't want anything to do with the mother again. They should give her an apartment. So because she is 17 years and she's no longer an adult, she was what we call in care. She was inside this care home where the government oversee people, minors, take care of them till they are up to 18 to go out on their own and start making life for themselves. Now, the mother who fought tooth and nail for this particular girl, even fought her husband, lost her marriage, is this same child that put her in prison with a statement just because of a boy, just because of a lavish, reckless lifestyle she was living and she was enjoying at that point. Now, we have to learn a lot of lessons from this. Yes, our own children can put us into problem. Our own family members can make us go to jail. Now, if she had listened to her husband, maybe this would not have happened. They should have left her back in Nigeria, or they should have sent her back when they wanted to send her. Now, she would not lose her license, she would not be in jail, she would not lose her marriage, she would not lose her relationship. Now she lost everything just because she wanted to give her daughter a better life. This is a sad story, and I hope so many of us that are listening to this actually learn from this story, because it's something that happens each day all over the world. This kind of thing keeps happening. Stories like this keeps coming up, and a lot of things keep happening. Please don't forget to subscribe and tune in onto tomorrow's episode, because every day we're going to be bringing a lot of interesting stories of things that happen around the world.